Hello and welcome to coverage of the TCGplayer MaxPoint Championship. I'm Marshall Sutcliffe in the booth with Frank Lepore. We are underway in our top 8 here. Josh McClain looking to run it back. He is the champion from last year, playing against the first seed coming out of Swiss, Andrew Baeckstrom. Andrew is going to play for the United States this year at the World Magic Cup. He won a World Magic Cup qualifier to earn that right.
I like this match too because it's not a mirror match. Like, I think any non-mirror match is actually very good for us as far as coverage goes.
More exciting.
Always fun to cover. Yeah, because you get to see different interactions as opposed to like each player just running out their siege rhinos in succession.
Right. Both of these players, excellent Magic players.
What do you take here?
I have no idea. Let's see. I haven't gotten a good look at Josh's hand, and it makes it pretty tough to decide what he can beat and what he can't. Obviously, the most powerful card here is Elspeth. That's obvious. The Crackling Dooms can be really annoying for Josh McClain, but it kind of depends on how his hand shapes up.
So we have a Siege Rhino, a Sorin, a Mana Confluence.
Right now,
an Elvish Mystic.
Okay.
Which is probably going to play this turn as well.
Right. Baeckstrom actually can't cast the Hordeling Outburst currently, so Josh maybe doesn't feel the need to take that, but you know, that is his best, Andrew's best early play, and if it matches up well against with what Josh is trying to plan out here, he might take that. Right now, you know, Elspeth is quite a bit down the road, and Josh does have access to answers for it. So, interesting question here for McClain. What he's trying to do right now is match up the decision based on his hand. That's the key. A lot of people just take the most powerful card with Thoughtseize, just thinking, you know, which probably is a reasonable heuristic. But
yeah, and I mean, there's like a very large a large chance that like when Andrew gets to 6 mana, Josh just might not have an answer for Elspeth, so you might want to plan for the future.
There you go.
But interesting, I think the Hordeling Outburst is an interesting choice because Andrew doesn't have a second red.
Right. But I think that if you look at Josh's hand, Andrew's going to have time. Like, Josh isn't going to be able to like close him out of this game in like a you know, even if he hits a Siege Rhino next turn or whatever. And so I think he figures that at some point the red mana will arrive. And I think we're going to see a Crackling Doom. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it keeps him off. I mean, you really usually want to hit the bigger creatures with the Crackling Doom, but this lets him get in for 3. It gains him 3 life, and it also keeps him off of a next turn Siege Rhino, which is actually what Josh wants. The Abzan deck doesn't have many 3-drops. So usually you want to ramp to 4 with either Sylvan Caryatids or Elvish Mystics. So I wouldn't be surprised if Josh just passes the turn. Yep, and
you're right.
Killing that Mystic is like a time walk almost.
Yeah, it's a big move there. Josh's hand looks pretty good. He has Siege Rhino, Sorin, and
Josh
Johnny.
No, wow. Josh stays at. Oh, it takes 1, so he actually is down to 11 already. Yeah,
that's kind of an interesting one too there because he takes down the pesky card, but he has left Andrew Baeckstrom with an Elspeth in hand.
Yes, that's true.
And Josh will need an answer for that at some point.
And it looks like Josh has an Ajani, a Sorin, and a Siege Rhino in hand.
Yeah, really stacked hand. But Baeckstrom does have a second copy of. Ooh, jeez.
That's a good dude, and I don't think Josh has an answer.
No, he currently doesn't.
So it's not looking great.
It actually looks quite terrible for Josh because he's going to have to take one
with
point of pain here,
and with
one way or another.
Yeah, and even if he didn't for some reason, with the Crackling Doom in Andrew's hand, that's virtually a 2-turn clock.
Yeah, it actually ends up being barely a 3-turn clock, but that also means that Josh like can't tap his Caves of Koilos for colored mana. Like, it really does restrict him.
And I have a feeling he's playing Siege Rhino here. But
I think he is too. So he goes to 13, and then he goes back down to 12, and then he takes 5 and goes to 7, and he gets to live for 1 extra turn thanks to the Siege Rhino. But he's going to need to find an answer for that Butcher pronto.
And Andrew draws. Looked like a land at glance, but I'm not
land would be good for Andrew. But right now, let's get some Crackling Doom going here.
Yep, and that Siege Rhino hits the bin.
Crunch, crackle, and doom. Down it goes. So now, down to 6 for Josh McClain.
So I think Andrew has 1 card in hand, and it's that Elspeth. And the good thing about Andrew's deck is that nothing costs more than 5 except for the 1 Elspeth. So if he draws a land, he casts Elspeth. If he draws a card, it's just gas.
Yep.
And if he draws a card, if he draws like a lightning strike, he can just kill Josh on the spot.
Alright, so Josh is going to use Sorin to make a token.
Well, I guess not now with a pesky vampire in the way. But Josh's hand is not looking that great against a Butcher of the Horde.
It is certainly not. Now, you did say he has an Elspeth in his hand, though, right?
Yes. Oh,
so
it's
he can play Elspeth and minus it to kill the Butcher of the Horde next turn?
Oh, no. Andrew has the Elspeth. Josh has
the Johnny in hand for Josh? Awkward. So he's actually forced to maybe take the damage here. Let's see. Can he tap a land? So, like, what he would like to do is make that thing into a 5/5 so that it
you
can
trade at least.
Yeah.
But he's wondering if he can go to 1 here. Like, you have to, because Andrew has Magma Jets, he has Lightning Strikes, he has Crackling Dooms, as we know, and it also makes it so he can't ever tap his Caves of Koilos.
Right. He's also got a Mana Confluence in his hand.
Yeah.
I think he does have to go to 1 here, and he does. It's tough, but I mean, look, he doesn't really have a big choice.
Right.
And remember, he can actually
Windswept Heath, which is a virtual blank right now.
It is a blank, but it won't be for long because he can play a Johnny, put all the counters on the thing, and then plus Sorin as well to give it lifelink. He could even attack if he really felt.
Well, he's not going to have
bold.
Yeah, that's true.
He could also bolster his defenses by making a second vampire just in case Baeckstrom. Although, is there removal that Baeckstrom has in his main deck that wouldn't just kill Josh, like, you know, Lightning Strike or something like that? Is there any removal that Baeckstrom has? Chain of the Rocks. All right, so he could play around Chain of the Rocks by making a second vampire if he really wanted.
Yeah, Andrew's draws are just real good here. I feel like Andrew has a lot of outs.
That's matched up well. There's no doubt about that. All right, so this is going to be a huge vampire, and it also has lifelink. He can attack for 6 here and stay barely ahead of that.
Seems so risky.
It is risky. Yeah, he's just got to stay back. All right, so these are huge draws, though, for Baeckstrom, because there's many cards in Andrew Baeckstrom's deck that just kill Josh immediately.
We have to play Elspeth here.
This is a really, really tight game.
I feel like we play Elspeth, make tokens, and then attack with Butcher. And if he blocks, then we give lifelink. We gain 5, he gains 6, but then we have an Elspeth.
I don't know. That is interesting. Like, right now, it feels like Josh is kind of handcuffed here, right? Like, he doesn't feel like he can attack. I suppose if he lets Josh untap, Josh can put more counters on the vampire, bumping it up to, what, an 8/8, and then he can plus Sorin to make it 9 power and then battle with it, and now he's kind of clear of, you know, most scenarios.
Right, that's what I mean. Like, I think Andrew has to put the pressure on and make sure that vampire dies this turn.
He could also kill it. Yeah, he did.
Interesting.
Yeah, so he's just playing like a slightly longer game, but
I think that, like, if
Josh gets to make the same play again here.
Here's the thing, like, if he did with my play, oh, he keeps him at 1 is the difference.
Right.
I see.
Right. So now all of Andrew Baeckstrom's like burn spells are live. He does get to untap with Elspeth here. All of the soldier tokens will be lethal technically, although it looks like Josh is going to have a big
that's true.
lifelink vampire.
Josh can't just make a vampire and then put counters on it this turn because it's not going to have lifelink, so it would die to, you know, numerous things.
Well, yeah, I think he's okay with that, right? Like
all right. Well, of course, there's a pretty good hit for Josh.
It might be. Let's see what he finds. Yep. Okay.
All right. Well, we're
business is booming. Back up to 2, so no soldier token by itself is lethal. Now, what's the rest of his line here?
Elvish Mystic.
He's got an Elvish Mystic too.
So he's mounting a pretty decent defense.
Basically, this next top deck from Baeckstrom is huge.
Yeah, it could be.
It's just huge.
Sarkhan would be amazing. Lightning Strike, Crackling Doom.
Yeah, there's a lot of cards that just straight up win him the game right here.
Even Butcher of the Horde would win him the game.
Yes. I don't think he has it.
No.
Wow.
He had a ton of outs though.
Yes, he's had a ton of outs for like 2 to 3 draw steps in a row. And while he did get off to an amazing start, Josh is he had nothing. He must have drawn like a mountain. Holy smokes. This is a big, wow, that's huge too, because now he's at a Crackling Doom range from just being dead.
Yeah.
Also, he's going to gain a ton of life here, though.
Yeah, this is just where Josh seems to stabilize.
It is a little awkward with Elspeth, though.
Yeah, he has no way to actually just kill Elspeth right now. He can put counters on his guys, but Josh has 2 chump blockers. He can start gaining life with Sorin, though, which is actually a very good idea, I think.
Yeah, I think he needs to get that one hit in with the Sorin creatures. I think ideally he'd like to make a vampire here.
Oh,
but
that's an interesting one.
But I don't think he can afford it. I think he needs to plus Sorin again.
Well,
and get in with at least his Courser, like to get out of Lightning Strike range.
I think he's thinking about it.
I mean, the chances that Andrew draws it specifically Lightning Strike aren't particularly high, but like it would be pretty miserable if you had a chance to get out of that and didn't.
Yeah, right. Then you're going to feel like, well, that was where the misplay was, definitely.
Well, yeah, the other problem is that he has to think about Butcher of the Horde.
Yes.
Where if he doesn't make a Vampire here, then he can get up to, well, if he attacks with both, he can get out of Butcher of the Horde range, but if he only attacks with the Courser, which is kind of what he wants to do, then he can't.
Well, it's tricky because, like, the odds that Andrew draws a Butcher instead of a Lightning Strike are only slightly lower.
That's true. Also, he actually goes up to 6 here, so he is technically out of Butcher range then.
I think I would have just taken 3 if I was Andrew.
He's not, because the Soldier.
I don't know if I would have blocked that. Like, he's at 15, he's at a very healthy life total, and like every
I'm
point
sure he
matters
attacked
at this
Elspeth,
point.
right?
Oh, well, if he attacked Elspeth, then 100%.
Yeah, I'm sure he had to. No, so he's at 6. Josh is actually safe from Butcher here. He gets to play around Butcher of the Horde with this line. I like this. He's got 2 Planeswalkers with tons of loyalty facing just 2 lowly 1/1s.
Johnny's at 61 currently.
What is that card in hand for Baeckstrom?
I don't know. I could not see them.
Both of these players are very vertical.
They're very covert.
Yeah. No amount of leaning around the monitor is going to help. So.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. They've got the anti-stream tech. All right, a couple more tokens hitting play for Baeckstrom. That is too many.
I mean, we also have to remember that Johnny's 1 turn away from going ultimate and gaining Josh 100 life, which could be very sweet.
Oh, it would be great for Josh.
And also Josh gets an Elspeth. Oh, and a second Elspeth.
He's chaining Elspeth together.
Yeah, I feel like this is the part where Andrew's just out of range, unfortunately.
Well, I don't know. Like, what is Josh's line this turn? Like, how does he get out of... Okay, he goes down to 5. He doesn't want the second Elspeth. He's already got one in his hand. So how does this work for this turn for Josh McClain? Like, he still hasn't quite turned that corner yet where he gets to gain 15 life, right? Like, where he's just like, distribute counters plus Soren, hit you.
Well, I feel like he could. He could if he wanted to. He could definitely plus a Johnny. Put,
so is this that turn?
Maybe.
Could be. Gain a life.
Oh, Wingmate Rock. I feel like that's going to be the nail in the coffin here. There's no... I don't think there's a sequence of draws that Andrew could have that combat 3 tokens from Elspeth this turn, the counters from a Johnny, the life from Soren, and the Wingmate Rock on top of Josh's library. Josh has had a very, very successful series of draws these past few turns.
Yeah, next turn he can play Wingmate Rock, but he does need to get himself clear of any shenanigans here. Like, he doesn't want to take any chances with, you know, having a relatively low life total and just having Baeckstrom, you know, go like Lightning Strike you, end step, untap, oh, Butcher of the Horde, kill you, you know, something stupid like that.
And this is what he's doing. He's going to probably plus Soren in order to make these guys just absolutely huge.
Right. He would gain like 8 life.
Yeah, he gains 8 life, 4 from each guy.
Wow.
Which puts him at 15, and like the game is basically reset at that point.
That's perfectly fine.
Plus, he still has to play an Elspeth, and then when he plays Elspeth, he still has Abzan Charm up, so he's pretty safe.
Now, has he not plus Soren yet?
I don't think he plus Soren yet. I don't think he cares about life at that 7, I guess.
He must feel safe at it.
Yeah. But the other thing is, well, I was going to say, in 1 turn or so, you can make a... I think maybe he wants to play Elspeth, make the tokens, and give them lifelink. So
he would have just done that first.
Yeah, he could have done that first.
I think he wants to make a vampire. Like, is that what he's doing? Go down to 3 here?
Interesting.
Yeah, he wants to get a flyer up for Butcher of the Horde. He's also got... Can he cast his Abzan Charm and not be dead? Because he has that against the Butcher of the Horde as well. And yes, he absolutely can.
Oh yeah, he can. Oh,
okay, so it was Magma Jet.
Andrew had a Magma Jet in hand.
So this is the fear.
He was sandbagging that.
Yeah, he drew it last turn.
There's a Chain to the Rocks and a Hordling Outburst, but that is not going to do it.
Why didn't he ship those to the bottom though?
I don't know. I think you still should have looked at the next card, right?
I mean, you get a fresh draw step there.
Maybe this Mardu deck wants 1 Crater's Clause just to like close out things like that. So you guys are with us for the TCGplayer MaxPoint Championship, and if you guys are looking for cards that you've seen in these top 8 deck lists, you can check out TCGplayer.com. We have the largest inventory of cards anywhere because we have hundreds of sellers. So check TCGplayer out. for sealed product, foils, promos, and any format you can imagine, and save big.
I can imagine a lot of formats, Frank.
They're all there. And if you guys are looking for more ways to play Magic, you can check out all of the events that we have for the 2015 calendar year, such as Player Appreciation Weekend, Modern State Championships, the Invitational, which is $50,000 on June 6, 2015, Store Championship Weekend, and Standard State Championships. So mark your calendars and head on out and play some Magic.
All right, players have deck lists for the sideboard. For their sideboarding decisions, rather. So they're going to be able to look at what their opponent is up to.
Do we know if the players saw deck lists before? I guess it doesn't matter. They could have just gone to the...
They have them now. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is it so when they make their sideboard decisions, they do get to know at least what's available. And so do we. Take a look on your screen there, and you can see the sideboard for each player. And, of course, they won't have any clue about which cards the player intends to bring in or not based on what they think the other person's going to be doing. You know, one of the things that people forget, I think, pretty often is that when you sideboard, you're not sideboarding against your opponent's deck that you just played in game one. You're sideboarding against their sideboarding. Decks.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
So you need to kind of know what like direction they're going.
It's the game within the game, so to speak.
Right, and then there's another game within that, because once you have that knowledge, then the question becomes, what are they sideboarding?
Right.
Right, and then
if they know what I'm going to sideboard against what they sideboard, maybe I don't sideboard that way.
Then maybe you don't do it. Right. And now you're in the leveling war, we call it, where they know that I know that whole thing again.
Right.
But I think a lot of people don't actually ever enter that, and the reasoning for that is they think, oh, well, my opponent is red-white tokens, so I'm going to bring in all the stuff that I have that's good against red-white tokens.
Correct.
Yet they might not realize that the red-white tokens deck post-sideboard does something completely different.
They're going to take out all the token cards.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You know, and
they're going to bring in the end hostilities, so they're going to be the control deck, and you're going to have all these aggro cards, like Anger of the Gods, and they're not going to have anything to get angry about, so to speak.
And so that's what these guys are considering right now is, all right, I've seen the Mardu mid-range list. Where's he going? And how can I counterpunch that? Not how can I counterpunch what I've already seen.
Because that might not be what you see in this round. Totally. Or in this game, rather.
Yeah. Now, there's some cards that are going to stay in almost no matter what, just based on pure power level. You know...
Yeah, like you're not going to take out your Elspeths or your Siege Rhinos if you're Josh McClain.
Yeah, like those Siege Rhinos are going to be there. So if Andrew Baeckstrom feels like he needs more answers to Siege Rhino, he can rest assured that those answers will meet Rhino.
And like against Josh McClain, like Andrew Baeckstrom is definitely going to bring in the 2 Glare of Heresy because, well, it targets almost every card in Josh's deck. Siege Rhino, Wingmate Rock, Elspeth, Sorin, Ajani. Every white permanent that Josh has can be targeted by Glare of Heresy.
Now, interestingly, both players have 2 end hostilities.
Correct.
Now, this is the true test on a mid-range deck is, well, who thinks they're the control in this matchup, right? Which of these 2 players feels like they could be more proactive, more beat down than the other, right? Because like if they both bring in end hostilities, then it feels like somebody has assessed incorrectly, right?
Yes. We're both trying to combat the aggressive starts, but neither of us have them anymore, so this is awkward.
So it gets a little awkward.
Yes.
Right, read the bone. Multiple bones will be read. I wouldn't be surprised to see those come in for Baeckstrom either. Sometimes these mid-range fights can get very, very grindy.
Yeah, and you become they're definitely, and I think both of these are definitely attrition decks as well. So yes. I think read the bones is just fine to bring in actually.
Yeah, you can just get back ahead on that. Chandra Pyromancer, that's an interesting one too.
It actually is against Andrew because Andrew has a lot of
against Josh.
He has a way to make. Oh, yeah, you're right actually.
Yeah, the Mardu deck running the reds.
Yeah, I was thinking it would be good against Andrew because Andrew has a lot of ways to make 1/1 tokens. So you can just kill 1 plus Chandra, kill 1 plus Chandra. Yeah. But I don't know if they come in against Josh per se.
No, I love the Liliana vest though for Josh McClain. I wouldn't be shocked to see that either.
Yeah, that's actually, I mean, we've been talking about Liliana earlier about how just being able to Vampiric Tutor for up to 2 cards before you get to start plussing her is just, that's a great ability.
You know, you were talking about it being an attrition fight. If you start plussing Liliana, you're going to win that attrition fight in short order. If you start minusing Liliana, your draw is going to be way better.
She's like her cheaper version.
Yeah, you're just going to outpace your opponent's draw by a large margin. They're drawing random cards off the top, and you're drawing literally your best card. Yeah.
Wingmate Rocks, whatever you need.
Right. Okay, so Josh McClain finds a way to win game 1. Can he find a way to run back the championship? He did win it last year. Ooh, that looks like a painful draw. Oh, maybe not. I guess only one
Mana Confluence.
Mana Confluence. I thought I saw 2, but there's only 1, so.
You got the Temple of Silence from Andrew. He does not like what he sees.
Baeckstrom has no interest in that card. And there's
I will
Temple
see
of
your
Silence.
Temple of Silence. And Josh keeps.
Josh kept his?
Yeah, he said, I would like this at some point.
Interesting. No play here from Baeckstrom.
That's, I mean, that makes sense. The Mardu deck doesn't have many 2-drops.
Well, it has the Seeker of the Way.
Oh, that's true, but it only has 3. The updated version. That
And he may have taken him out.
Yeah, actually he might have.
Yeah.
It just doesn't do much against a lot of... Yep, there's the Glare of Heresy right on the bottom that we mentioned.
I saw that. This is good. We can get a quick...
Oh,
there's the Read the
Seeker.
Bones. The Seekers are in.
So we're 2 for 2 as far as the... Oh, there's a Chandra.
And there's a Chandra. All right, he wants to grind.
And the good thing about Chandra in this matchup is that it makes Siege Rhino unable to block. So if you have 3 Hordling tokens, you shoot him for 1, shoot the Siege Rhino, and then he can't block. That's a good dude to play on.
Much more assertive start here.
And the great thing about Ravelmaster when you're on the play is that Josh now has to answer it on his turn.
Yes.
Which means he doesn't get to do anything, and Andrew's still left with a 1-1.
Yeah, and he's going to. I think he's going to Hero's Downfall the Ravelmaster.
You kind of have to.
But you said it was an incremental game, and he's going to get ahead very slowly here.
Interesting. He lets Andrew on tap.
Yeah,
he's definitely
no
letting him go to combat, right?
No, no way.
If Andrew
Not
plays
unless he has an end hostilities or something like that he wants to fire off in a turn or 2.
I feel like that's going to take. He's going to take a lot of damage if he waits.
Yeah, there's no way. He's just going to kill the Ravelmaster.
And I'm kind of hoping Andrew had a second Goblin Ravelmaster because I thought I saw one. That'd be pretty sweet.
Looks like he didn't though, because he would have cast it pre-combat.
Nope, does not look like it. One, yeah. Yeah, and actually Josh has a Courser of Crewfix in his
Yeah,
hand,
I would have loved to play that there, but...
He had to forego playing because of the Butcher? Is it old Butchie? Nope, Soren. Make a Vampire. Make a Mike Flores, if you will.
Indeed. Bile Blight. Could be good.
Yeah, I mean it's great against Andrew in general because like it counters a Hordling Outburst. If he has multiple Vampire tokens, it kills those. It kills Elspeth tokens. Like, but right now it's a 1-for-1. So.
I mean, he can get Goblin tokens from Outburst or Ravelmaster.
Yeah,
like
or it just kills a Ravelmaster by itself.
Also good. Okay, here's a Courser. Ooh, hello.
Well,
that seems good. Gain a life, Drown in Sorrow, sitting on top of the library here for Josh McClain. So Andrew Baeckstrom is going to have to play accordingly. Ideally, he'd play a big threat of some sort here that just simply doesn't care about that kind of card. Quick update from our side matches here. Weller Gordon versus Flickinger is in game 3. Caleb Durward's up a game on Raymond Perez Jr. And Cody Lingenbach is up a game on Mark Anthony Bird. Let's see if Mark is going to take his first loss on the weekend.
Oh man, this is the worst place to take it.
Not be where you wanted it.
Well, I was undefeated until my top 8 match. That's how I felt at the Grand Prix, I'll be honest. Well, the worst place to lose. So we see an Elspeth in Josh's hand, but chain it up. That's good. I like it.
Okay, nice assertive play here.
We see a Glare of Heresy in Andrews, so that's a nice counter for when that Elspeth does come down.
Meanwhile, take 5. So Baeckstrom kind of working with what he's got, and he's going to put Josh in a spot where, Josh is going to be incentivized to just use that Drown in Sorrow.
Yeah, but like we said, a true attrition-y match.
It sure is, though big chunks of damage can add up.
And the difference is, like, by using Drown in Sorrow, Josh is not advancing his board at all. He still has no permanence in play, and Andrew still has a Soren.
He's considering utter ending the Soren instead.
Yeah, which could be better, because it could force Josh to play more tokens, making the Drown in Sorrow even better.
Right, I mean, because he knows what Andrew's going to do. Andrew's just going to sit there on those 2 tokens, plussing Soren and saying take 5. Like, he's not going to commit more things to the board that die to Drown in Sorrow at this point.
Yeah, I think that's what he's doing.
So let's see what he wants to do, though. He's got to decide if he wants to deal with the Planeswalker and leave the 2 tokens on the board, take a little more damage, or if he wants to just get rid of them. 3 cards in hand for Baeckstrom.
Sorin. Yep. Other End is a great card that came out of Khans of Tarkir. Like, it just kills any it exiles any permanent, so.
Any non-land permanent.
Right. It does not vindicate, that is for sure. I think that was a Chandra? Wow, that's really good when Josh has no board. He can just play Chandra and just play the shooting game.
He could even just start zeroing it.
Yeah, just draw. Yeah, you always wait to zero until you have mana, though. But I mean, that's yeah, totally. Like his options are totally on the table, right? Like he can just do that. This Chandra is just very commanding right now, especially after Josh has used his Other End on the Sorin.
All right, so here comes.
Yep, gotta be Drown. I gotta stop the bleeding somehow.
He's got a Murderous Cut, no mana for it currently.
I like that Drown and Sorrow is just literally a strictly better Infest. Like, they don't come up often, but that was a vast improvement over Infest, the Scry one.
Huge improvement.
What? Yeah. It invalidates the entire card Infest, which is kind of funny. Unless you have a deck that you don't want to Scry in, which is very strange.
I haven't met that deck yet.
I don't know if such a thing exists.
Wow, Josh really wants to keep that card, but I think he
doesn't know if he can. Yeah.
I think it feels like he's like, I really want that, but I don't think I can afford it. No land, has to pass a turn back here. So Josh McClain, it feels like he's just been one step behind this whole game. And
Chandra up to 6. And the thing is, like, if he can ultimate Chandra and hit like a lightning strike, what do you copy it 3 times?
You copy it 3 times.
Deal 9. Oh, and Elspeth. Well, so I wonder how game 3 is going to go.
Yeah, this does feel like Josh is. Remember, this is a clean draw off the top. We might see the Thoughtseize for information, and
but that might be it.
Call it good. I mean, he can cast the Bile-Blight in his hand.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not losing next turn necessarily, but like, how does he come back from
this? In spirit, he might be.
Right. Like, I mean, the problem is, yeah, he's just scooping him up.
He sees the writing on the wall there. I'll take my Courser of Krufix back. Yeah, that was a really strong game from Andrew. Like, he was just ahead 1 step every turn. He would play a threat. Josh had no choice but to respond to the threat. It happened with Sorin. It happened with Rabblemaster, and both times he got value out of both of those cards. There was still a leftover remnant of those cards on the board that Josh didn't deal with, and those brought Josh down to 8 life. So,
once again, Josh McClain is our returning champion from last year. So this would be pretty crazy for him if he could run it back and win back-to-back TCGplayer MaxPoint.
That would be crazy.
Also, it's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
Nice job for Josh if he could rip that one.
12,000 bones.
But standing in his way is first place seed coming out of Swiss, Andrew Baeckstrom. Andrew's really, he's had some success at the GP level this last year. He won a World Magic qualifier to make it on the U.S. national team, and he's really sort of asserted himself as one of the up-and-coming players.
Yeah, and this Mardu midrange deck he's playing is probably one of my favorite decks in the format right now. Like, it plays a great aggro game, but it also plays a great control game as well. So it's like, yeah, I think it's for the players that want to play control, but don't like waiting 30 turns to win the game. So you can actually play like Whirling Outburst, and then just ride those 3 tokens to victory. It's a very solid deck. And Abzan from Josh McClain seems like the default mid-range deck in the format right now.
Rashad, is there a way we can look at this at the back table? Just maybe peek in there. No, we don't need graphics. I just want to see if there's how many Hornet Nests are on the table. Looks like currently 0. So we're looking at Caleb Durward on the left, who's playing a pretty sweet brew, as you may expect if you know anything about Caleb.
Is this Court of Calling being cast right now, you think?
It's sort of floating out there. That could be his graveyard. On the right-hand side is Raymond Perez
no, this
Jr.
one underneath.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Or he's blocking with it.
That's a good idea.
Those are my 2 options. All right, it looks like Cody Lingenbach has advanced past Mark Anthony Bird. He's going to have to settle for a quarterfinal appearance
Mark Anthony Bird, Jeskai Ascendancy, is not going to win the event.
No, used up his run good yesterday.
There's a part of me that's almost glad the deck didn't win, because then it would be everywhere.
Yeah, but I feel like you could beat if you want to beat it. Yeah,
it is easy to fight against.
Yeah,
but it's a combo deck, so a lot of times you're forced to spend a lot of resources to combat it. I have 7 sideboard slots devoted to Jeskai Ascendancy.
Right, where you would rather be able to spread those out.
Right.
In our other quarterfinal match that's not on camera, Eric Flickinger gets past Brian Weller-Gordon in 3 games. So he's going to be in there too. So the 2 matches we have under the cameras are the 2 that are
still going. Yeah. So once they're done.
And this one looks like it's getting out of control quickly here, thanks to Elspeth. But we have seen Caleb Durward's deck come up with some absurd scenarios. We had a spot yesterday where he Crater's Clawsed his own Hornet Nest for 6, and if he were to untap, he could fire off a Crater's Claws again for 15.
Yeah, it was.
And also attack for 6 in the air.
There's that Crater's Claws.
It turns out he wasn't able to do the Crater's Claws for 15, but he still won that turn anyway.
Well, and the funny thing is, how many Crater's Claws does Caleb have in his main deck?
I think he has 1 main.
He has 1 main, which is the funny part. I felt like that card was MVP for him in every match.
I'm going to double check, but Caleb Durward, 1 Crater's Claws main.
Yeah, and I think he has, what does he have, 1 on the sideboard?
1 on the board, yeah.
Wow. That card's insanely good. Like,
it is.
And getting ferocious is not very hard. Like, you play Nissa, you make a forest a 4/4, and then all of a sudden you're ferocious. You know, it's not a hard thing to accomplish.
Wow, 2 Planeswalkers in 1 turn here for Caleb, using Nissa Worldwaker's other ability.
And let's look at how good Nissa's untapping forest is in Caleb's deck. When he has
we were just talking about Crater's
5
Claws.
forests.
Yeah, it's just insane.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He could Crater's Claws for 12 right now. And since he could easily be ferocious, it would be 14. Let's not even consider how much mana he can add with Xenagos.
Wow, that is insane. He actually just played 3 Planeswalkers
in 1 turn.
This turn.
What is happening? He played Nissa. He untapped mana to play Xenagos with Nissa, and then he plussed Xenagos to add 3 mana.
2, 3,
and paid 1 more to play Chandra.
Right.
Like,
this is just absurd. And he's got Crater's Claws and Stormbreath. He's got Crater's Claws coming and Stormbreath. What is he doing there?
He's hiding his Planeswalkers. Oh man, Caleb's a good guy. I like Caleb a lot.
Ray, which game
I'm glad we cut to this moment.
They're in game 2. And
did Caleb win the first game?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, this deck is real sweet. And if you guys are enjoying it, I will probably be writing about it this week. So this deck looks super fun to play too.
You should write about it.
It has a bunch of Planeswalkers. 4 Hornets Nets, Marshall. 4.
Main deck.
I loaded this up on Magic Online last night, and I had to pick up a 4th Hornets Nest because I didn't have one.
Was it easy to pick up?
Yeah, it was like 13 cents, I think. Not difficult.
Okay, we can pop back over to our main match. Players are just getting mulligans resolved here, but we'll keep an eye on that other match as well. And if there's a game 3, we'll be bringing it to you. We're in game 3 here, though, on our main feature.
I feel like Plains is one of the least exciting lands that Josh can lead on. He has a bunch of tap. It doesn't. He also has a Thoughtseize, which makes me wonder if he kept a hand with no black mana.
Interesting. I mean, he does tend to wait.
Does Josh have any access to Fleecemane Lion? Because that's the only thing I can see him playing here with Windswept Heath.
I don't think he has that in his list.
Oh, just to carry at it. Okay. Well, that is technically a black mana.
Yep. And it's at the right time too. He's going to be able to. Yeah, nice. And he doesn't get Thoughtseize either. So here we go.
Well, the funny thing about the Mardu deck is it doesn't actually have access to any Thoughtseize.
Oh, they don't play Thoughtseize at all?
No Thoughtseize in the sideboard or in the main deck.
Wow.
Completely Thoughtseize free.
Interesting. But Josh is, he's going to remain patient. He'd like to use up his mana in a more efficient way. By getting a Courser of Crewfix out and playing a land, getting that life back he lost from the Windswept Heath. So Andrew Baeckstrom does get a window here, and he plays nothing. So
I don't like that.
Does he have a Crackling Doom? He's going to look at this.
Oh, he might, actually.
Doom?
Yeah, he might be like during upkeep Crackling Doom.
No, he doesn't.
He said, nah, I'm good.
Did you see Josh? He's like, so can I play this? And Andrew's like, okay. I don't think Josh expected to be able to fully untap and get to his main phase with the...
I would ship that Caves to Kolos to the bottom as well.
Yeah, he did. And
Skyland's just better than I guess.
So I think we're going to see Caryatid and Thoughtseize this turn.
I think he's going to Thoughtseize just because he's like, what do you even have?
Yeah.
Oh, the Crackling Doom.
Well,
why now?
Maybe he was hoping to nab a Planeswalker.
Oh, he might have just wanted something larger, like a Siege Rhino.
Maybe he was hoping to get the Siege Rhino. Maybe he was hoping that Josh played like...
oh, his hand's actually super
Sorin.
stacked. Oh,
all right,
wow.
so he's got double Sarkhan. Wow, this hand is insane. Jeez.
I was like, oh, I don't think he kept a really bad hand. No,
he has
hand
4
is
Planeswalkers in his hand and a Read the Bones.
Yeah.
Plus the mana to cast
everything but Sarkhan right now.
2 of the Planeswalkers next turn. That is just nuts.
And look at that foil Sarkhan. It's in the perfect position to just glisten right out.
Wow, it is. That looks a lot better than the not foil.
That's a
Sarkhan.
shiny gentleman right there.
Jeez.
What do you take if you're Josh? You can't take a Sarkhan because it's redundancy. Like, it doesn't do anything. Maybe take Sorin? That doesn't do anything.
I mean, he's got another Thoughtseize. If he really wanted Sarkhan to be gone, if that was like the big issue for his deck, he could just peel both of them. Yes, but
I see Liliana carry.
That's the case.
Oh, and he has a Hero's Downfall too, I think.
Okay.
He's actually well prepared for this hand.
I think he's going to try to craft this around protecting his Liliana. Like, I think that like he knows that if he gets to activate Liliana twice in a row or something, that like he's completely golden.
Well, I mean, I feel like the way to do that is to... I don't know how you do that against 4 Planeswalkers that all
pretty rough.
Present threats, though.
Apparently, Josh doesn't either. He's thinking about it, but
this is not an easy choice. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. This is not an easy choice for Josh. I would take just as long. Because you also, while you're doing this, you want to sculpt out what's going to happen. You're like, okay, if I take this, you're going to play this. I can respond by doing this.
All right, so he takes both of the 4-mana Planeswalkers and basically ensures that next turn Baeckstrom's best play outside of the top of his deck is going to be a
okay, so we
Read the Bones.
Josh has a Liliana and Hero's Downfall.
Is that a Dune Blast?
Now he gets to Read the Bones, though, and I think that's fine. That's just a nice...
Hey, Baeckstrom's hand was blockbuster, so yeah. If this
is that another Sarkhan?
He certainly doesn't want another one. I think he drew a Dune Blast, though. Is that what I see down there?
Wait, no, probably not, because he's not red. He's not green.
Oh, yeah, right. So what was it?
I don't know, actually. Oh, he
holds his cards at such an angle I can't see them.
That's a Bloodstain.
Yeah, it is a 90-degree angle, Rashad. That's what it was.
I think he just drew 2 lands off of that. I think it was a Nomad's Outpost and a Bloodstain Mire.
You're totally right.
But another thing, like, he played the Nomad Outpost. He read the bones before he played a land, which is smart. Some people would just play a land and then read the bones. And then if your only next land is a tap land, then you're going to be in an awkward shape when you want to play your 5-drop.
Especially if it's a scry land. That's what you really want.
Yes.
All right, but I think we're going to see Liliana the Veil here, and the question is just, well, this is a little awkward because Josh is keeping the card anyway. Is he going to just maybe make Andrew start discarding? Like, he doesn't get to draw the card.
I think he has to just because Sarkhan, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, so you fly over, hit Liliana, put her to 2.
Right, so then the next Sarkhan he gets to kill. Yeah, this actually works out well for Josh McClain. And especially if Andrew Baeckstrom decides he ditched a land. Okay. He draws, I believe, another Read the Bones, but
I'll be honest,
I just can't see his cards.
Oh, Andrew, you
see that? Look at that.
It's just
what did you call it, Rashad? Perpendicularity? Nah, I'm not saying that on the stream. But Andrew's a master of it, whatever it is.
Yeah, he's definitely practiced this. I'm going to hold my cards perfectly vertical.
As you should.
Oh, he's just going to utter
Oh, but he drew an under end.
Not even
that is going to completely change the line of play here for Josh.
Because all we know about Josh having in hand is a Hero's Downfall?
Yes. That's like all he has in his hand.
Courser of
Perpendicularity.
Not going to deal with a... He could just actually play Sarkhan, kill your Courser.
Yep. Meanwhile...
Oh, that's what you want to see if you're Josh McClain. Jeez. That is a strong top. How many Elspeths does he... Oh, Josh is running 3 Elspeths in the main deck. Good lord. That is almost a full suite.
Alright, so we expect to see the Sark Father come down here and start torching horse people.
I was discussing whether it's like... If Hordeling Outburst is just better than Mardu Charm, you got to think like... Hordeling Outburst is 2 tokens, or 3 tokens. Mardu Charm's 2. They have First Strike, so that's not a non-zero ability.
Well, for the turn, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's also instant speed, so that's also relevant.
Huge.
And if he had Mardu Charm, you could actually, during Josh's draw step, play Mardu Charm, discard the Elspeth. So, like, the versatility of the card, it also kills things. But the versatility card seems very strong, and you get one less token, generally, than Hordling Outburst. Like, that's, if you're using those, if you're using that specific mode, that's what you're going to get. So I'm not sure if Mardu Charm is actually worse than Hordling Outburst in the deck, I wonder.
I mean, I would ask Brad Nelson.
Yeah, and I actually mentioned that to him, but I'm not sure what he thinks.
Do you thought Sarkhan would be going after your Liliana, and maybe not after your Corsair?
Is Baeckstrom just in the tank here?
Yeah, I think he's just thinking. Like, because he's got to figure out how to deal with that Elspeth once she comes down.
I'm wrong about this.
He might even be talking through his thought process here.
Yeah, just kill the Corsair of Crewfix.
Yeah, get your value. That way if McClain kills your Sarkhan anyway, then...
I think he's going to. He's going to end of turn heroes down.
Do you think so? I don't know. You kind of stranded in his hand. You can kill it with the thing on the stack, too. Like, if you kill it...
But then he can't play Elspeth as well next turn.
That's true. Well, he can. Elspeth goes to 5, right?
He's like not even going to...
Yeah, Elspeth goes to 5, so he can actually get away with this. He doesn't have quite enough mana to Hero's Downfall here. It's close, though.
Oh, but if you got like a Crackling Doom, that would be very good.
Oh, yes.
You just deal 4, and then Crackling Doom, redirect to Elspeth for 2.
Yep.
Any removal, any direct damage would be great against Elspeth right now.
Yeah, just good enough to finish off that last life.
Utter End would be great.
Fifth with 24 points, Jeff Jones.
I think he's going to read the bones here.
We are getting a game 3 on our back table as well. Raymond Perez Jr. versus Caleb Durward. So we'll see how
Caleb
this
didn't
one
win that game where he had 3 Planeswalkers?
No, he was a little behind on board.
Wow.
That was a hell of a turn, but...
Oh, that's right. Raymond Perez did have 1 million Elspeth tokens.
That's right.
So
11th place, Cody Burns. 12th place, starting with 21 points, Spencer Freeman. 13th, Scott Sheehan. 14th, Zachary Leverett. 15th,
Hit you!
Kinsey Franklin.
that's interesting. Oh, a glare for the Elspeth.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
Once he says hit you, Josh is like, well,
I guess you got it.
This is no longer
to it, Sarkhan, one of you.
Yeah. Okay, so Josh continues to fight here, though. He gets 2 soldiers into the Sarkhan there to finish Sarkhan off, and Josh has an answer for the second Sarkhan as well. So the question is, what else?
Oh,
and hostilities.
That's actually really good right there.
It's decent.
But I think it really constricts Josh's mana. It makes it so he can only do 1 thing per turn.
I mean, I think one thing that costs 6 mana per turn is probably pretty decent.
That's fair.
He's kept a couple of lands in his hand.
Andrew's hand looks really stacked. It looks like he has a Sorin now.
Really? So he's got Sarkhan, Sorin stuff.
Yep, there he is. And the thing is, like, I love the elegance of being able to tap a fetch land when there's an Urborg in play. Just add a black mana.
That is kind of sweet.
Yeah, you just make a vampire, and then if he kills, if then he, it basically makes a 2/2 creature that costs 4 mana that says your opponent discards a removal spell from their hand, which I would play every day.
Anyone who did not make the top 16.
Oh wow, he's not.
Well, he's got time.
Yeah, he does have time. But
he gets more information from the draw step about figuring out, well, what if I find some better answer? You know?
What she's looking for right now.
Yeah.
It just makes me wonder, because like if you drew an Elspeth there, you're not going to be able to cast Elspeth and... Well, I guess you don't really care about the vampire token, maybe.
No, it's true. It does. There is a cost to doing it the way he did, but Josh figures, I think, that the information is more valuable.
Yeah, and that's fair.
But you're right. There's a cost. You might just play Courser here.
Yeah, I think he just plays Courser here.
Like, if he plays Courser and Andrew Baeckstrom torches it with... oh,
but we know...
With Sarkhan.
Yeah, he knows Andrew...
I think Josh can live with that. Like,
really?
I think so.
Because it's still a 2-for-1 again, and it leaves Sorin completely, like, you know, uncontested.
I mean, that's a question that Josh is trying to figure out right now.
Yeah, I don't think...
is which Planeswalker does he need to kill?
If you know Andrew has Sarkhan and 2 other cards in his hand, I think you're feeling a little behind right now.
Oh, he's behind. Josh is way behind.
Like, remember this opening? The way this game started with Andrew having no 1, 2, or 3 play? We were just like, I don't know if he actually has this game. Like, it seems like he has a very slow start.
This is interesting. If Baeckstrom sniffs it out, he may just minus his Sorin to make a
Yeah, just get the full value.
Yeah, just to make sure that he gets cards out of it, virtual cards.
I'd almost rather him kill the Sorin and leave the Sarkhan, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, with Josh at 10.
Yeah.
Like, he can hit him for 6
he has a
and be
Chandra
like,
in
you're
hand
dead
as
next
well.
turn.
Wow.
Wow, his hand is stacked. You weren't kidding.
It's literal Planeswalkers for days.
No, he decided to plus it.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Get in there for 3. Josh has to just take his medicine here.
Because I would just leave all the Planeswalkers on the board and just make it like, okay, if you want to deal with this, you're going to have to. But it's going to stick around until you do, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, shoot you, go to 6.
And that sets up lethal next turn for Baeckstrom.
Yeah, with the Sarkhan and Sorin pumping and Chandra.
I mean, just with the Sarkhan and the token, like, no pumping needed.
Yeah, the Sarkhan alone, because he pumps it to 5 and then Chandra can deal the extra point. So
well, that too, but
yeah,
I was actually
there's
just
multiple
saying
ways to add
4/4
up.
flying dragon, 2/2 flying vampire.
Yeah, you don't even have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
All right, he needs to hit a land, although I believe he has one in his hand here.
I'm sure he'd like to hit one on the top as well, though.
Yeah, he just clears some stuff out.
Coercive Krufix, one of the strongest cards in the Theros block, I think.
Oh yeah, Coercive.
That's a good one, but you might just. Is he just dead?
No, he's at 7.
But Sorin can pump the Sarkhan and the Vampire.
That's true. The question is, can Andrew Baeckstrom afford to go for that?
Does he have a Crackling Doom as well?
Does he really?
It looked like it was in the front, but it could have been a land.
Yeah, but this is Andrew Baeckstrom. You don't get to know his cards.
That's
just
it's all guesswork from here on out, ladies and gentlemen.
So
protection from stream, nice.
It looks like he might be on the verge here, though, of advancing to the semis.
Does Josh have an answer? Oh no, don't do it.
Looks like he's not going to go for it this turn.
Boop.
Just going to peck in there.
A little poke. Give you a little poke there. Double Batman. No Sarkhan.
He does have one, right?
Yeah.
He had 2 in his opener. We've only seen him cast 1.
He's
like that thing didn't get thought seized.
I think Josh is like, did we
he was just
play
dead.
It somewhere?
Like Josh was just stone dead there. But Baeckstrom's playing a little bit longer of a grindy game here.
Andrew just closed it out, man.
I mean, now he's going to let McClain have a Sorin.
Is he thinking of cracking? Maybe he says Sorin's not going to do anything for me right now.
Could be. It feels like putting up a 2/2 flyer might be worth it, but...
And Windswept Heath just breaks you even. Well, I think he knows Andrew has Sarkhan, so like a 2/2 flyer is not... Well, I guess he keeps it. Oh, that's a good one.
That would have been good a turn ago. He gets to go back up to 6 here, and then he can go all the way up to 9 if he wants, but he's going to force a block here? Uh-oh, Crackling Doom incoming.
I knew I saw it.
GG, my friend.
Yeah, you go to 3, good sir.
Yeah, you go to 3, and all that Josh McClain can do here is make a 2/2 vampire and then die.
Yeah, that's probably a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I'm going to make this Sorin.
Andrew Baeckstrom looking to knock Josh McClain out here in the quarters. Josh trying to defend his title. Made it all the way back to the top 8.
Andrew just takes the Sarkhan and kills his vampire and attacks him for 4, basically. Oh my! I'm not even gonna play. Not even gonna play the Sarkhan.
And Josh McClain is like, you know.
Yeah, and there's the full Sarkhan right on top.
Do believe I've seen enough.
He didn't even. He's like, I don't even need to play this Planeswalker.
No, he didn't need to. He played around.
If you have Abzan,
a bunch of stuff, and in he goes to the semifinals. Andrew Baeckstrom.
And Andrew took his time with the Crackling Dooms. Like they were, he didn't use it as soon as he could see a draw. He didn't like prevent Josh from gaining 1 point here and there. Like he used it at the last possible moment when he needed to get in. You know.
All right, so we can jump to our back table to try to catch that game 3. You can see that our other 3 semifinal matches have been populated here. We're going to have Baeckstrom versus Flickinger, and Cody Lingenbach is awaiting the outcome of Raymond Perez Jr. versus Caleb Durward.
Could have Andrew Baeckstrom in the finals, but we cannot have an Andrew versus Caleb finals. That is unfortunate.
Thanks, Josh.
Or could we?
We can.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, I was like, wait, because they were both in the top, so I was like, okay, so yeah, Andrew Flickinger versus Andrew Baeckstrom, or Eric Flickinger versus Andrew Baeckstrom is set. We have Cody Lingelbach and whoever. Yeah, so definitely possible. 3 Mardu mid-ranges in this top 8. I'm wondering if we could see Cody win and Andrew win, we're going to have a Mardu mid-range versus Mardu mid-range top 8 here. And if you guys are looking for any of the tokens that you just saw on screen, like Mike Flores, Conley Woods, which are our latest MaxPoint tokens, head on to any MaxPoint event at your local stores and get some tokens for yourself. The author tokens are available between now and the next MaxPoint Championship. So,
I have one of each of those in my hand right now. They are glorious. Who wins? Like,
I've been saying Mike Flores, but then you keep getting mad at me because I keep killing Conley.
Yeah, and he's already undead, you can see.
Right, but then I mean, I feel like then he doesn't even mind at that point.
Well, you might be right. It might be just the polite thing to do.
Right, that's fair.
Also, you can't really kill a vampire anyway. So. I mean, not impossible.
That's true. This battle seems very lopsided.
Right.
And if you guys are trying to sell any of your own cards, you can sell with TCGplayer.com. You get the quickest sales. So head on over to TCGplayer.com, list your cards, and start selling today.
I've got a Crater Claws and a Dune Blast I'd like to sell.
Well, you can do it.
And a Villainous Wealth.
But I see what you're doing right now. Marshall defeated me in the finals of an 8-man draft yesterday with a 5-color deck. He had about 13 non-basic lands.
You're at like 5 or something.
Just mid-range. Yeah. Just mid-range deck. It's a 3-mana card.
So I think I solved the token problem here.
Okay.
You guys actually set it up beautifully so that they're equal. They're both 2/2s. You put them in the arena.
Yeah. So
they
bounce.
They bounce each other out so that there's no need fighting over the two.
That's true.
Okay, looks like we're about ready to go into Game 3 here. Ray Perez Jr. taking a gander at his opener, and Caleb Durward, I expect to see him running by any second.
He just said, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm leaving.
Caleb looks like he's had enough.
He's out. So Ray Perez wins by default.
Can you tap out in Magic? Can you just concede?
There he goes.
There he goes, the running Caleb Durward.
Everyone's having a good laugh at Caleb having to leave immediately, so he will be back momentarily.
His timing was
impeccable.
Impeccable. Raymond looks like he's having fun, though.
Yeah.
He ain't worried about it.
No, he's having a good time.
Raymond was the runner-up on the the Rookie of the Year.
Yes, he was
for the Pro Tour.
Correct. Unfortunate. Sometimes you're just one behind.
One spot.
One spot behind.
Yeah. Future Pro.
Future Pros. That's his Twitter handle, correct?
Yeah.
At futurepro.com. Not .com. That's not how Twitter handles work. I was just in the zone there.
Aren't you like a social media manager?
That's true. I don't know how Twitter works.
What is this tweeter?
With the bird, I see a bird.
Yeah.
Caleb's coming out now, so he should be there momentarily.
We get the full view.
He's also in. He didn't even look at us when he went by. It's very unfortunate.
He's ashamed of himself.
How dare he?
For making us wait.
The restroom? No, sir. You hold it like an adult.
That was actually pretty cool.
I'll turn this tournament around.
And there he is. We're back.
Maybe he should have went before he left the house.
And he goes right for the water bottle.
I lost him.
Got to reload.
Yeah, he's good.
They know they can play, right, Rashad?
They just don't care.
I would love it if they played.
You're good, Ray.
Oh, Ray said that? He said only his mom calls him Raymond?
Yeah, that's right.
Mothers love polysyllabic names.
But that's not going to stop you, Rashad? You're still going with full Raymond? It does sound nice.
The full Raymond. That's like a wrestling move.
Yeah.
Give him the full Raymond.
All right, so Caleb is going to crack his foothills to get off to a nice start here with the carry added here.
How do you feel about this Zendikar full art land and this other Tempest Mountain?
Probably
like
not ideal, but I approve. I really like that old school Tempest
feel like,
Mountain.
yeah, no, it's the mountain itself is fine, but I just don't like the. Why do we have both of these two in the deck?
I'm pretty sure that both are John Avon art.
Oh,
Does
maybe
that
that's the
redeem
theme.
it?
I think
I'm not 100% on the mountain, but I'm pretty sure. I know for sure the forest is.
Yeah, that's definitely a.
Yeah.
It's a good looking forest too.
Oh, it's beautiful. They're both really. You know, that's a Tempest mountain down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, hand selected.
Hand select
by Caleb Durward.
I wish they did
I don't know.
the full arts again.
I'm giving the stamp of approval here. Like, he's clearly put some thought into it. He's picked his favorite just because they kind of have different.
What if he plays
frames,
a different mountain?
Artwork styles. Oh, if he plays a different mountain, I'm done.
Then it's like, well,
I'm
you
just
didn't play
walking out of the
favorites at
booth.
all. You just literally found. Oh, he has the same one.
Yeah. See, I knew it.
All right,
Caleb.
All right.
Caleb Durward, everybody.
That's a real good start for Caleb.
Yeah. Turn 3, Xenagos the Reveler.
Uncontested by Raymond Perez Jr.
And
Can I get
looking
some
for a
satyrs?
satyr token. Let's get this party started. Bang.
That's a Pegasus.
2U. You go to 18.
What do you think is a stronger mythical creature, the Pegasus or the Unicorn?
Unicorn has first strike.
Pegasus has flying, though.
Yeah.
First strike, because of the horn.
Correct. It's a flavor thing. All right. Now, this is a little awkward, though, for Caleb.
Really? How so?
Well, he's actually going to have to plus Xenagos just to play a Planeswalker or a spell this turn, I believe.
I think that's fine, though.
Yeah. I mean, I think ideally you would just make a
He
steady
has access
stream.
to 7 mana this turn, though.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
He gets 6 rather. He gets 2 from creatures, 3 from lands, and then he can tap
6.
carry added.
Correct. And hey, a satyr appears.
He's
Now,
like, but my Pegasus.
So what is happening here? Does he actually get to attack? Did he have enough mana to make that mountain a beatdowner?
Yeah, he did.
All right, there we go. So 6. Wow, crunch, crunch. This is getting nasty very quickly.
Yeah,
here.
and it's interesting because Raymond Perez
this is a different look, isn't
has
it?
to fight several different kinds of threats right now. A Bile Blight on the Satyr. That's definitely a last resort move.
Is miserable.
Caleb didn't even have 2 Satyrs. It was just a single Satyr.
And this is also ugly for Ray Perez. He's found a second green source here.
He's got a Siege Rhino, but I don't know.
Yeah, but
Is that going to do it?
well, it probably will actually. I mean, it's going to hold back the 4/4 Trampler. It'll hold back the 2/2.
No, Caleb has a Citizen Tactics in hand.
Oh no!
That's
Does he
real
really?
good. Yeah. It's
Well, at
and
least
there's a Crater's Clause.
it also that means that Ray won't take too much damage though this turn. If he goes for tactics, he's going to have to use the 4/4 to kill the Rhino. Then it can't attack that turn.
But he can make another 4/4.
Could make another one if he has.
He can also
the
make
mana.
a Satyr, which is 6 damage.
Can he just have enough mana to do all that? Remember, he's not hitting his land drop for the turn here, so tactics takes 3 mana.
Well, it's 2 base, right?
It's 2 base, but then you have to.
I don't think he has to strive it. He can just use 2.
Oh, you're right. He doesn't
Target
have to
the-
strive it. Target the thing, the mountain, and then battle. Yeah, it looks like he just has enough here. This is a completely different look from what we've seen from
The other thing is,
Caleb's
like, he could
list.
just make another 4/4, attack with both, and then if the Rhino blocks,
He
then
can just pump.
He can just pump it. Yeah.
And he takes 5 that way. It's a good point. Looks like he's going to
think he
switch
just wants
gears
to hit
to a
lands
slightly
here.
longer
Oh, and he
game
hits
here.
a land.
Ding!
That's actually very good because
It's
he can
just
plus
huge.
Xenagos
Wow.
to make 3 mana, and he could also make another 4. He can untap Forest as well. So he actually right now he has access to 3, 4. He has access to 6 mana right now.
Yeah. I wonder if he wants to just build up his board here, though.
Yep, he's gonna untap. He has 1 floating, so this is makes a Satyr. 1, 2, 3. I think he's gonna
Play a Hornet Nest.
I think he's gonna Citizen Tactics and pump 2 guys,
You're right.
fight the Siege Rhino, and then just attack for 3.
You're totally right. That's exactly what he's doing.
Citizen Tactics is a really strong card, and Caleb's utilizing it beautifully.
He certainly is, and he has a Crater's Clause in hand.
Yes,
Frank.
it's
Like,
And
I'm
you
going to
know-
need you to get your calculator out
okay. So 1, 2, 3,
and
4,
run the numbers on the mana he can
5,
make.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mana, and he has
And he has a 4-power creature, so that's 13. That's
12 damage.
12 damage.
So all he has to do is attack with 1 guy.
Wow.
I think this turn is gonna be brutal for Raymond Perez.
Ray Perez is under incredible pressure here from an explosive start.
Well, here's
from
the other
Caleb.
thing. It's 12 damage, but he could just attack with 2 4/4s.
Yes.
He could make it 10 damage,
Yeah, totally.
and then have 8 power attacking instead with trample.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
not,
sure this is the end.
not fun times here for Ray Perez Jr.
And Caleb also just got a 3rd land.
He binked an untapped land on top of his library.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about this deck. It's just red-green, and he has about 16 basics. So the untapped 4 forest ability from this is incredibly relevant. All your lands are coming into play untapped.
Wow, that is really nice.
I feel like Caleb knew what he was doing when he put these cards together.
Yeah,
Caleb's a brewer.
An experienced brewer.
We are still taking registration for our super qualifier.
I think Caleb can win this turn if he actually just...
If he just sequences everything out correctly.
I think you make the mountain a 4/4. Attack with all your creatures. You can add 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll be able to add 5 mana with Xenagos. You can add 3 from the forests. That's 8. Untap 3 forests. That's 11. And then you're dealing 12 damage.
And that's when Ray's already taken 8.
Yes.
Even after chump blocking.
Yeah, he can block. Yeah, exactly, exactly. He can block 1 mountain. The other mountain gets through, and the satyr gets through, and the courser gets through. So that's 8.
Yeah. Now I think as it sits, Raymond has nothing. Like he's representing Bile Blight here, which would be the one thing that would kind of put a crimp in the plan of attack with all.
No, he doesn't. He only has a plains though. There's no Urborg out.
There is an Urborg.
Oh, there is there. It's,
yeah.
Oh, it's under the forest.
Yeah, there is one, but he doesn't have Bile Blight anyway. Like I think that like Caleb just gets to just run roughshod here.
Unless I'm missing something, like that seems like I would definitely make that play.
I think the numbers came in for you there, and he's going for it. He's made mana.
Maybe he just shoots first, asks questions later.
Could.
This is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's like, Kratos calls you for 11, maybe?
So he made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
He added 4 mana from Xenagos from creatures.
Yeah. So this should put him down to 4, right?
Did he plus Nissa this turn for 3 extra damage? Oh, he's down to 2, and then he just attacks him with everybody. Yeah.
I mean, he had it either way.
Yeah, either
the way he closed that game out was not particularly relevant. The fact that he did was. Now he is in to the semifinals, defeating Ray Perez Jr.
You notice every game we've seen with Caleb, the Creator's Clause was extremely relevant.
It certainly was.
And he has 1 in the main deck. I feel like that's just. I feel like you just up that count.
Maybe you should do that when you write your article.
I was thinking about it.
Or maybe you should run it by Caleb and say,
I was just going to say, I'll ask him about it.
Yeah, maybe there's no slots or.
Yeah, I mean the deck seems extremely tight. Does he want 4? I think he definitely wants 4.